the word actually, maybe the biggest insult ever sometimes properly inserted. Like people will say like, you actually look nice today. Well, like the word actually turns a compliment into the worst thing ever. And the other thing is girls or women often they feel the need to insert the word little before anything. Like, how's your little business? Like,
Hello, BeatiDudes Nation. Welcome back to the BeatiDudes. The BeatiDudes is a podcast for Christian men seeking to grow in holiness while walking arm in arm with their brothers on the way to eternity. My name is Paul Kolker, and I am joined, as always, by my co-hosts, Jeffrey Scheffelbein.
Toga.
And Nick Besner.
That's me.
And back in the office that he actually owns, we are here again with Flip Howard, ladies and gentlemen. And if you didn't catch the Monday episode, go back, watch it, share it with a friend, subscribe while you're here. We've enjoyed seeing the growth on that, and it's been awesome to hear all the stories of people sharing the show and relating to moments in the show. So thank you for sharing that in the comments. That's been awesome.
Dude, I've had the strangest moments where I was on a call with somebody in New York, and they were like, wait, y'all are the BeatiDudes? And I'm like, yeah. Or we were at a breakfast, and we pulled out a sticker, and this girl goes, do y'all know these guys? And we said, we are these guys.
Somebody messages you on LinkedIn. I'm like, I've been following that guy on Twitter for like 2 years.
Yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah, and after Mass, when I thought my baby was like making somebody mad because they bumped into him so many times, she said, excuse me, sir. And I was like, oh, my goodness, here we go. And she goes, are you one of the BeatiDudes? And I said, yeah. You're looking at a third of the BeatiDudes right now.
That's right.
This is happening.
so do I get to be a quarter of the BeatiDudes going forward if somebody asks that?
Listen, there's some opportunities. You know what?
Guest appearance.
There's some opportunities.
The BeatiDudes wouldn't exist without you, is what you can say, like everything else.
That was such a gracious no. Yeah, let's just move on.
Well, yes, so we're back with Flip Howard, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay, Flip. Whoosh.
What was that?
So half-hearted.
Why was that so
It's getting late.
Yeah.
Wasn't that good?
That was not good.
Why did you do it that way?
You got to up that a little bit, Jeffrey.
Do it again.
Yeah, we're back with Flip Howard.
Yes!
Yes!
All right.
There you go.
Thank goodness it's Flip.
TGIF.
So
I say
Jeff,
it often.
Jeff, I think you had the starter question for today. Is that correct?
Man, I feel weird about this question now, but I was just thinking about like really nice ways to have cut downs for your friends. Oh, wait, I have like a real question for him too, but just to kind of put this out there, like, have you ever said something like just ridiculous to somebody? And it's kind of like snarky, but it's so fun and lighthearted that it couldn't actually be mean. Like when I said, nice shot there, crossbow, or, you know, back it up, truck stop, you know?
Yeah, non-insult insults.
Sure,
like they sound.
Sure thing, carry on.
Oh, yeah. Look at carry on
Sounds
here.
like an insult.
Yeah.
You're so tiny, like a little carry-on luggage. I got that one from my brother-in-law.
You got any?
Oh, yeah. I like to say, it's not exactly like this, but when I'm opening the door for somebody and I want them to go first, I say youth before beauty. And it is technically an insult in a way, but I'm also giving them the youth part of it.
That's very nice of you.
Which is just factual.
Right? Yeah, because I'm old now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that clever. I have some friends who do this, and I'm just not that funny of a guy. I do notice there's two that get done a lot. I feel like one we just talked about, the word actually, maybe the biggest insult ever sometimes properly inserted. Like people will say like, you actually look nice today. Well, like the word actually turns a compliment into the worst thing ever. And the other thing is girls or women often they feel the need to insert the word little before anything. Like, how's your little business? Like, how's your little tennis this morning? Like, why the word little just totally, yeah.
Why is it little?
Okay, going on this theme, then I got a couple more that jump out at me. One is like, I like when I say something and somebody will say, really? And then I'll do this one. Yeah, surprised you didn't know that. Such a jerk move. And then my last but not least, and I actually said it on one of our shows, is somebody will say something and like just deadpan them and say, prove it. You know, like our business grew pretty good last year. Prove it. What? Prove what?
Do you know Rob Reynolds?
Yes.
Out of Florida. You should get him on this. He'd be great. But he is the king of that kind of awkward silence humor. His favorite thing to do is whenever he sees somebody wearing a Masters hat or shirt, which like a third of people in Dallas are wearing at any given point in time, right? He'll go up to him and be like, "Wow, did you get that at the Masters?" They're like, "Yeah, I was there." And he just goes, "Wow." And walks, and just they don't know if he's mocking them or really admiring them, and he just walks off. He does it to everybody.
They have to sit with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan of the slow burn.
Right.
Just let it sit there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, not in the mean vein. We thought that the bonus show today, because you are a father to many and now a grandfather to many, we want to go into like, first of all, what's your family situation? And then you're going to have to just start dishing out great advice because all the listeners want to know how'd you do it.
All right. Family situation. I went to Franciscan and laid eyes on my dream girl who was a senior when I was a freshman and decided that's my girl. Like, she was my dream girl from afar. And so I stalked her. I tried to walk wherever she walked, and I worked my way into the friend zone.
Just a little stalking.
Kind of a lot, actually. But so when I thought we were out of the friend zone, I thought maybe I was more than a friend, I said so, and she said, "Are you kidding? You're like my little brother. I could never date you." But anyway, she changed her mind, and we now have been married for 27 years, and we have 7 kids from 26 down to 12.
Married your whole life.
And yep, exactly, exactly. And I know it's funny. I say this to young people a lot, like YCP stuff and whatnot, that I know a lot of rich people and a lot of poor people and a lot of happy people and a lot of sad people, and very little correlation between those two things. But I know of almost no one who has a great marriage who's not happy, and I know almost no one with a bad marriage who is happy. And it's kind of that simple. Like, the key to success in life is marrying well. And so to me, and so people will move from one city to another for a $7,000 raise, and yet they will end a promising relationship because someone's moving. Like, everyone thinks, I could never move to somewhere else just for a boy or just for a girl, or like, why not? It's way more important than your stupid job. You can get another one of those anywhere. And so that obviously it all starts there. And everyone says, "Oh, my better half, and she's better than me," and every guy jokes about how much he outkicked his coverage and all those things, but you guys have met Celeste. Like, it's really true here. Like, my kids are
low bar.
Friggin', yeah, right, exactly. My kids are friggin' perfect because Celeste is a ninja, and Celeste is a ninja because she she was always a stay-at-home mom, and she felt like she wanted to give the kids the best her, not kind of the leftover her in the afternoon. Like, she wanted to put her entire, like, if there's a hard way to do something, she does it the hard way. If she's going to make dinner, it's all from scratch, original this. If she's going to homeschool her kids, she's not using a curriculum. She's doing theology from here and math from here and science. She did just everything. The hardest way to do it is the way she does it. She's the opposite of me. Like, I try to make everything easy, and I try to just make it about me, and she's just about serving and doing everything the hardest way possible. So my kids are amazing because she just made it her mission to make them amazing. And so the parenting advice I would have, I mean, whatever, I could talk forever about this. Things I always start with is, A, things you don't think you can control, you have more control of than you think. Everybody throws their hands up and like, "Oh, well, the kids have free will, and I can't, I can't control this, and they hate each other, and there's nothing I can do about it." Like, I get they have free will. I get they're all different. In fact, Celeste has this amazing thing in prayer. She kind of got an image. Each one of our kids has a different, like, fruit or vegetable. Yeah. And all the things, like, this one is a pineapple. It's prickly on the outside, but here's what it is on the inside. And here's the way you care for that thing. And here's the potato. And here's the mango and all the different things. Every kid needs to be raised totally differently. I'm not saying that you just do it the way you do it.
Yeah.
But I am saying that people throw their hands up and they're like, "Well, my 4-year-old, my 6, they just won't wear these clothes," or my 5-year-old hates my 8-year-old and I have no control over it. No, you do. Like, you wouldn't let that 8-year-old speak to one of their 8-year-old friends in the way you allow them to speak to their sibling. Why? Like, one, I think you have more control than you think. And 9 times out of 10, I think basically all the problems in the world can be blamed on crappy parenting. 2, I would say that every problem that you're trying to address, the time to address it was like 2 years ago. Like, pretty much everything that's happening that your kids are doing that's wrong, and obviously, we all go through that, like, it's a result of you screwing something up about 2 years ago, and it's kind of too late right now. And again, we screw up all kinds of things.
Sure,
And,
sure.
you deal with the repercussions kind of when it's too late.
I
And then
love
just-
this, by the way. Just keep them
Yeah.
coming.
Just keep coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's actually
Um,
what you're known for.
I-
You just have these quick hits, and they make perfect sense.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Why'd you say actually? Actually, that wasn't that wasn't insulting.
But
actually.
I mean, they're like little quick hits that
Right.
you do.
Right.
Actually.
So, let's see. You just threw me with that.
I know,
I was
I'm
on a
sorry.
roll too. I was on a roll. I had one.
You know what you told me once? This
hmm.
has nothing to do with parenting, it's dating. But you said you went to A&M. You had to go to a place full of lots and lots of women and find one that was holy. I went to Steubenville. I just had to find one that was pretty.
A lot
Yeah,
easier to do
It's a
from
lot
across
easier
the
to do.
room.
Yeah, you can tell that from afar. Yeah, no, but the whole parenting thing, I think a big thing is, and this sounds like I'm self-congratulating, but I feel like if you aren't living a life that your kids kind of want to have, if you aren't someone they want to be, then whatever you say is not going to matter. Like if you're miserable, if you're not happy, if you're not smiling, if you don't love your wife, if you don't have date nights, you've heard all these things, right? But like you can tell them everything if they're like, well, how's that working out for you? So I not just faking joy, but being joyful and having fun and being into your wife. Like there's no way they're going to listen to all your advice if they don't want the life that you have. And so I think that's a big thing. Yeah, and then we also are we curate our kids' whole friend groups, everything. I think everybody thinks, well, I've raised them right. They can handle this or they can handle that. Fine, they probably can, but for me, I hope they go make disciples of all nations from the age of 23 to 83, but the first 23 years are boot camp for us. And I don't care if they touch another soul as long as if I have 7 kids and if 6 of them turn out okay and 1 doesn't, I won't be able to sleep, forever. So I hope that I want all 7 of mine to turn out right. And so I will sacrifice some missionariness, in their teen years for that purpose. So we do kind of raise them in a bubble. Like we've always been pretty selective about their media inputs and their friend groups. And Celeste, again, like I said, she does things the hard way. So if there wasn't a good group, if we didn't like this Boy Scout troop at this church or the whatever lady or the girls soccer team or ballet group here, Celeste would just start her own group, and she'd start a Little Flowers group or a Little Blue Knights group and sort of curate their friends so that all of my kids, I think people overestimate the parent influence and underestimate the peer influence. Everybody, there's kind of, I think there's 3 things that influence a kid: your family, your friends, and society at large. And one of those is already stacked against you. We all know that, right? And so you're probably going to be in the right direction. And this peer thing is like the tiebreaker most of the time, I feel like. And so you can, if you
It's a
don't put
good
them in the
framework.
right, if you
That's a
don't put
really
them in
good
the right
framework.
setup, 2 out of 3 are stacked against you. So good luck.
I'm telling you, I've been listening to this for years, and you need to just write this book, and it's 1 line per page. Like, here's the equation.
Flip
2 of
Howard's
these-
one-liners.
yeah.
That's the kind of book I can actually read, too.
It's actually a little book.
There you go.
And the picture will be you with no hair on the front.
And it wouldn't be me, right?
There you go.
So.
What about dating? And I know you just talked about marry a ninja. Like, let's say that you're not ready to discern which one's a ninja. Any dating advice for the young lads, especially in today's world when you got young boys and young girls that are now dating, married, popping out grandkids?
Yeah, I don't know. The last time I went on a date was 30 years ago. So what do I know? The thing that does seem to me, watching my college kids and my high school kids, especially my college kids, high school doesn't seem that different than it was when we were there. Everybody knows each other. Certain people ask each other out. But college is totally different. Like when we were in college, or at least when I was in college, guys ask girls out. And the same girls would get asked out, 50 times, it felt like. Now, like, pretty girls, sweet girls, holy girls, like, nobody asks them out at all. Like, I feel like if you're a guy, and I don't know what it's like in their 20s after college, because my kids haven't made it out of college without a fiance, basically. Yeah. But, if you're in college, I feel like your competition is pretty weak. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to just say, like, who's the girl of your dreams? Go make that happen, because probably nobody else is trying very hard.
Go slowly stalk her.
Right. Work your way into the friend zone. Here's the thing. My uncle said when I was younger, and I think this is wisdom, that guys tend to like the personalities of girls they find attractive, and girls tend to like find attractive the guys whose personalities they like, which shows they're just way deeper creatures than us.
they care about
Right. They're less shallow than us. But there's something to that. So if you let's say you aren't as good looking as Jeff, you can still just be really nice, and she may, like Celeste, she's like, you're like my little brother, and then, here we are 30 years later.
I hate the word little. Is that what you told her?
Yes, I did. Maybe that's where the scar comes from. Yeah.
Well, she had only said younger brother.
Right.
Well, I think just to build on what you're saying there too, don't take a rejection as any kind of indictment of your personality as well, right? Like, I mean, maybe you do need to grow in some ways, but also maybe it's just not the right fit or something. I mean, but go learn some things, right? Take risks, try things.
Selling begins after you hear the first no, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, don't let that define who you are just because one person told you no. Like, all right, well, you go learn some jokes or something. I mean, whatever it is, go try new things, right? And figure out more about who you are so that you are more confident the next time you go ask somebody out.
Yeah, and I'm a big friend of weaving your way into the friend zone. I mean, it worked for me. It worked for both of my kids who were engaged. That was so. My daughter was the pursued one, and her husband. It was the same scenario as Celeste and I. Like, she was not into him. He friend zoned it, and just basically broke her down. And she finally was like, all right, fine.
Beautiful.
Right, it's beautiful. But what's funny is it is beautiful in a weird way, because like, she was dating at the time, like, the perfect guy, a guy who kind of on paper all of us were like, that guy's way better than her now, my son-in-law, who I love. And I'm so glad that she married him instead of that other guy.
That's right.
Because when she was dating the, like, on paper resume guy, all she wanted to do was hang out with this guy.
Yeah.
And he's her best friend, and they have a blast together, and she couldn't be happier. And he never, what I love most about my son-in-law is I've never seen him look at Olivia with anything other than admiration. Like, she's never done anything wrong in his eyes, and that's all you can ask for your son-in-law. It's perfect.
I thought the friend zone sounded like a lot of work, and so I went and did a bunch of stuff so they would name a camp after me at Texas A&M, and I could have 150 freshmen and 25 upperclassmen, half of which were females, that I could get to know over a several-month period, and then select one to move forward into marriage.
That sounds like a lot of work too. Yeah.
You laid the groundwork.
Yeah.
What, 10 years prior
Yeah,
as
it was
a student?
It was very calculated. And then my sales tactic is to say things with great intensity as if they already exist. Like, we're probably getting married, so we should go on a date.
Yeah.
And then you just stare.
Wow, I had the total opposite approach. Although kind of not, because my wife and I met at a mutual friend's birthday party, and it was country western dancing, and I asked her to dance at one point, and then this other guy asked her to dance right after me. I was like, well, can't let him be the last guy that she dances with. But apparently, so I asked her to dance.
Round two, yeah.
But apparently he had the same strategy.
Oh.
And so
She's getting tired.
So she danced like 26 dances in a row with two guys. And she was like, I just need to, rest a little bit. Well, apparently he had some terrible line at the end of the night. And I was just like, hey, do you want to go get coffee sometime? Just did kind of the undersell after.
Ooh,
After like way overselling.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Final, this is going to be the most important thing you tell all the young men out there. What is it?
What?
Some sort of advice. I want you to
just
just
that on
conjure
the spot?
up the greatest advice.
Oh man, I don't do well on the spot actually.
Not
So
to
let me
put you on the spot.
Yeah, so let me tell you how well I do on the spot. So I'm just gonna tell a story real fast.
I
have
love
no
that.
I have no idea what the answer to your question is.
Well,
by the
we'll
way.
work it in.
So my brother gets married. The best man's really introverted. He knows that I'm a talker, extrovert. He's like, "Can you do the best man speech for me?" I'm like, "Sure, no problem. I'm a talker, no problem." So I was gonna write something. I didn't write it before, and a couple days before the wedding, I was like getting ready to write it, and the maid of honor comes to me and says, if you do a speech, I have to do a speech. I'm not doing one, so you're not doing one. You can't do one. We're doing no speeches. I'm like, sweet, save myself the time having to write one, no speeches. Fast forward, we're at the wedding, we're at the reception. There's like 500 people there, and I hear over the speaker, now the groom's brother, Flip Howard, will get up and do the toast to the best man speech. Whatever. And I literally wasn't nervous at all. Just walk right up there. I was like, I got this. Like, I'm I'm a charming guy. I talk like I got this. And I walked up there and I got the microphone and I went, and it just totally blanked. It was like worse than you're crying on your radio show. It was just like, and I just said, to Steve and Liz, a beautiful couple. To Steve and Liz. That was it. That's all I could do. So that's me on the spot. So I can't
story.
answer your question. I'm sorry.
All right, well, we'll toast to that. That's
There you go.
incredible. I don't even know what to do at the end of this episode, but Flip, thanks. Let's go take Lucid international. Let's go change the culture through business. And more than anything, let's just make great families and joyful marriages. Thanks for all the advice. It's awesome.
Amen. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
All right, well, we'll see you in the hallway. And for the rest of you, we will.
See you in the Eucharist.
God bless you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to join us at our undersized table, subscribe to the video version of the show on YouTube by typing @ that's the symbol @ so shift and 2 on your keyboard, @ the _ BeatiDudes on YouTube. We'll see you there.